Hey guys, how's it going? This is the Bald Metal Nerd coming at you with another video. And in this one, I thought I would talk about something I know I'm a little bit late on, but still worth talking about. I'm talking about, of course, the founders of my favorite genre of music, Black Sabbath, basically retiring. Now, whether they're fully retired or not, I'll address that a little bit at the end of the video. But I would just thought I would start off by talking about the news. Just if you've been paying any attention to this sort of thing, you know that they just recently played their final show in their hometown of Birmingham, England. After 49 years, they formed in 1968. And in 1970, just 2 years after they formed, they actually released two albums that year. They, of course, released the most, this is probably the most important heavy metal album ever released. And honestly, still one of the best. I love this album. I think it holds up exceedingly well today. This, of course, is their self-titled debut album, Black Sabbath. Awesome, awesome piece of musical history there. They recorded it in basically a day, and they basically just kind of rolled through it and more or less played it live. A lot of stuff that's on that album was the first take. And you know what? For something recorded in 1970 at a, pace like that with very low budget, it sounds amazing. And it just shows how awesome of a band Black Sabbath really is. Whatever. It's amazing that they managed to perform, have that level of musicianship and performance, just in one take. Obviously they mastered the songs, but man, they really just laid it down in the studio very quickly, basically perfectly. Wonderful album, really a testament to their accomplishment at that time. And of course, again, probably the most important heavy metal album ever since it was the first one. And in a lot of ways laid all the blueprints and groundwork for what heavy metal is. And of course, that year they also released Paranoid. Just 4 months after Black Sabbath was released, this was recorded, same year. Amazing, right? And again, this is also an absolute classic. I mean, how many radio staples are on this thing? War Pigs, of course, Paranoid, Iron Man. There's a lot of good songs. I'm just trying to think of the ones you hear on the radio. Well, just those three, but still, there's only 8 songs and almost half of the album. You still hear this stuff on radio all the time, even now. As far as, let's see, songs I like, let's see if there's any I don't like. No, I actually quite enjoy all of these, all the tracks. It's a great album. Excellent. So yes, heavy metal did exist. Well, no, I'm sorry. Heavy metal did not exist prior to Black Sabbath. Yes, there were some proto-metal bands and some songs that sort of leaned that way. There could be arguments made for a whole bunch of stuff that sort of leaned that direction. But Black Sabbath was definitely the band to really come around and solidify it into the core that it is. They really just laid all the rules for the genre, and of course, it's just amazing. Well, them and Judas Priest. And of course, there's been tons of bands since that have innovated. You could almost say the third band, maybe Motorhead, if you want to throw them in. But it's this. Obviously, I think if it wasn't for Black Sabbath, I'm not sure Priest ever would have done what they did, and I'm not sure Motorhead would have ever done what they did. I think Sabbath really got the ball rolling. They're the logical starting point of heavy metal, bar none. And they have really just created something new that very few bands ever do that. Very few bands ever create a musical genre. So I really don't think it can be understated. Now, I don't think when Black Sabbath was in their early days they had any idea whatsoever that they were kind of creating a new genre of music, or any idea of just how much impact they would have. I don't think that's it at all. I mean, all it was is we all know the story of how Tony Iommi's, the ends of his fingers got cut off and he had to have prosthetics, so he had to tune his guitar differently. And then they're like, "Ooh, listen to that dark sound of the," a lot of it was just by accident. So yeah, like I said, I don't think they had any idea what would happen or their impact, but hey, they had the impact that they did. They managed to do something no other band had managed to do before them, and of course spawned, you know, hundreds of thousands of imitators, right? If we get into, well, hell, maybe millions of bands by now have been influenced by Black Sabbath. So it's really just amazing the impact they've had. Now, I said that they're basically retired, but Tony Iommi said in an interview that they might do another album. They might do a one-off show here and there, but they're definitely not going to tour anymore. If they do decide to do anything in the future, I think it would be nice if they managed to patch things up with Bill Ward. It'd be nice just to see him bring Bill back for whatever they do. Hopefully they can manage to do that. But yeah, I think this is a good ending point for their career. I'm glad they all survived this long to have such a long career and, do what they did. I think that's amazing. I think 13 is a respectable final album for them. It doesn't measure up to their classics, no, but it's not an embarrassment to their legacy either. It's, I think, a good, solid, modern interpretation of their classic sound, and I'm totally fine with that. I actually quite like 13. I think it's a very good album. So, anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know in the comments below if you're a Sabbath fan or not, if you're a metal fan or not. Whatever you want to say is totally fine. That's pretty much going to wrap this up. So, as always, if you did like what you see, thumbs up. If you hate me, thumbs down, right? Share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Thanks a whole lot for watching. I'll catch you guys next time.